and there's a whole bunch of cones here, and that's why you get very fine vision that is needed to read, to do sewing and things like that. Okay? All right. So then what happens? These cells are the ones that pick up light, bright or dim,
I'm not looking at
and
you,
then the
Joseph.
signals, electricity starts to flow. What happens right here? These are the axons, by the way. Right here are the axons of these photoreceptors. All these things, that's where electricity is being produced, and the electricity starts to travel on these wires, on these other axons of other cells. These are also axons. They travel further, and they come to these cells over here. These are the cells that we call ganglion cells. Okay? These are special types of cells. These are the cells that actually fire. These are the cells that produce what we call APs. Remember? Action potentials. Remember that? Remember APs? These are the cells in the retina that produce action potentials. And remember how they look? They look like mountains and valleys. Mountains and valleys. If you have lots of light going into the retina, you have lots of these spikes. If you have a little amount of light going into the retina, you have just few spikes. Okay? The height of this mountain doesn't matter. Got it? So these are the cells that actually are responsible for sending messages to the brain. They go from these cells over these axons. So these are the cells, these are the axons of the ganglion cells, right there. See all those little tails coming out? And they form, all together, they form this kind of a nerve. And that nerve is your optic nerve. So the optic nerve is made up of ganglion cell axons. Those are the axons that start off right here in the eye and end up in the brain. And that is the nerve which we call the optic nerve and the nerve number 2. Okay? Number 2. And then what happens is, so you have this kind of an arrangement everywhere, right? Over here, all the way around here, and over here. But in this part of the retina where all these axons are actually leading to go to the brain. They start off here and then they try to go to the brain. They start off here, they go to the brain. So this is the optic nerve. So what happens is, because the optic nerve goes through here, around this part of the retina, you don't have any of these cells. It's like a hole. There's a big hole here. So what happens? We can't see anything. If there's anything, any building's image or any part that falls over here, we're not going to see it. And this is what we're gonna do a test also. We'll see how we will lose vision at a certain point when we do the experiment. Okay, a little experiment. Okay, so all this part, which is all the parts that are not the fovea, is called periphery. We call it periphery. The periphery means to the side. Got it? Retina, periphery, fovea, a blind spot, ganglion cells are